Hello student, myself Mrs. Ranjana Karida is going to explain you second chapter of your history book Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. So let's start. Introduction. The lesson throws light on the coming of socialism in Europe and the dramatic events that forced the ruling monarch Tsar Nicholas II to give up power. We can come to know that the ideas of socialism brought about Russian Revolution. Next, what is socialism? Socialism means common ownership. The common ownership means everybody has the right to participate in decision taking in the country. Next, in 1789, a French Revolution had created the change in the European society. People are divided into three groups: conservatives, liberals, and radicals. Next, who are liberals? They tolerate all religions. They were against the power of dynastic rulers. They wanted the rights for individuals and for elected parliamentary government. But they did not believe in universal adult franchise. Only the men of property have the right to vote. Next, who are radicals? Radicals wanted a nation in which government should be based on the majority of a country's population. They disliked the property should not in the hands of a few. Next, who are conservatives. At first, in the 18th century, they were against the need of social change. But after the revolution in the 19th century, they started accepting change in the society. But the change should be slow and with respecting the past as per the conservatives. Next, industrial society and social change. The industrialization in Europe brought men, women, and children to factories. Unemployment was common. Towns were growing rapidly, but the housing and sanitation were problems. So, some nationalists, liberals, and radicals wanted to revolute for bringing changes. Next, rise of socialism. The idea of socialism became popular and attracted many in Europe. The great socialists were Robert Owen, Louis Blanc, Karl Marx of that time. When their ideas spread in Europe, then many associations and parties were also formed. In Britain, the Labour Party formed in 1905. In France, Socialist Party framed by the trade unions. Next, Russian Revolution and the causes. Next, the Russian Empire in 1914. In 1914, Tsar Nicholas II ruled Russia and its empire. The Russian Empire included Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, parts of Poland, Ukraine, and Belarus. The empire included the minority religion, Catholics, Protestants, Muslims, and Buddhists, and with the majority of Russian Christianity. Next, economy and society. The economical conditions mainly depended upon the agriculture. 85% of Russian population earned from agriculture. The crown and the churches owned the large properties. Nobles got their power and position through their services to the Tsar. Peasants wanted the land of the nobles. They refused to pay rent also. Next, industrial sector. The industries were concentrated to the areas of Moscow and St. Petersburg. Coal productions doubled. Iron and steel output developed to 4 times. Most of the industries were in private hands. The working hours in factories and industries were too long. That was 15 hours to 18 hours. The wages of the workers were very low. The strikes were common in industries during 1896 to 1902. Next, socialism in Russia. All political parties were illegal in Russia before 1914, but some parties were formed later and led to revolution. The RSDW party, or the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party, founded in 1898, which respected Karl Marx's ideas. Later, the party was divided into two groups, Bolsheviks and Mensheviks. Vladimir Lenin was an important leader of Bolshevik group. The group thought that the party members should be disciplined and control the number and quality of its members. The Mensheviks thought that the party should be open to all. Next. This is the picture of Vladimir Lenin, who was the leader of Bolshevik group. Next. A turbulent time. The 1905 revolution, the Tsar was not subject to parliament. Russia was an autocracy. The liberals in Russia campaigned with peasants and workers and started revolution in 1905. The prices of essential goods increased so quickly and the wages declined to 20%. The members of workers' associations increased. Over 110,000 workers went on strike in St. Petersburg, demanding to decrease working hours 15 to 8 hours, increase wages, and to improve working conditions. Next. Bloody Sunday. A rally was organized by Father Gapon. The procession reached the Winter Palace and were attacked by the police. Over 100 workers were killed and about 300 wounded. The event day was on Sunday, so it came to be known as Bloody Sunday. Strikes took place all over the country. Universities closed down and students walked out. Lawyers, doctors, engineers, and middle class workers established the Union of Union and demanded constituent assembly. Next. This is the image of event Bloody Sunday. Next. Creation of Duma. Duma was a legislative assembly. During the 1905 revolution, the Tsar allowed the creation of elected consultative parliament or Duma. Most of the committees and unions which were formed during this period were declared illegal. The Tsar imposed several restrictions on political activity. The Tsar dismissed the first Duma within 75 days and re-elected second Duma within 3 months. Tsar changed the voting laws and packed the third Duma with conservative politicians. Next. The First World War and the Russian Revolution. During the First World War 1914 to 1917, people rallied around Tsar Nicholas II, but he refused to consult with the Duma members. There was the defeat of Russian army. The casualty of armies were high. Russia's armies lost badly in Germany and Austria. In 1917, over 7 million people died in the battle. Next. The Russian army destroyed crops and buildings to prevent them from the enemy. This led to over 3 million refugees in Russia. Industries affected badly by this war. Railway lines began to break down by 1916. The country was cut off from the goods supplies from the other countries. The able-bodied men were called to war, which led to labor shortage. The small workshops shut down. Large supplies of grain were sent to feed armies to the battlefield. So bread and flour became scarce, especially in workers' quarters.